friends, how are you? You all must be enjoying your vacation, but I have something very important to tell you about the subject accountancy in particular. Dear friends, generally when students enter in the commerce stream, they feel very easy, they feel very comfortable, and they remain very casual when they study commerce. Then that is why sometimes it happens that students remain deprived of good knowledge of accountancy. So today I personally have that intuition that I must serve you something in that regard of my 22 years of experience of teaching and doing accountancy in particular. Accountancy has its own pedagogy method. How do you do accountancy? How do you do? Then my first answer is that number one, you should always remember the terms. Now you see, you should not remember the terms in the form of theoretical definition. You should remember the terms in the mode of concept. Right? If you go for concept, you will learn accountancy better. If you go for marks, it will make you run. And if you go for knowledge, right, it will fetch you marks. So better is that you should go for knowledge of accountancy. You will definitely get the marks. You will secure in the board that you want. I am giving you clear 3 steps, only clear 3 steps nutshell, right, of getting good score in accountancy. Number one, whenever your sir teaches you, you should be ready with pen, pencil, eraser, ruler, textbook, and you should make every note that your sir makes to you. This is number one. Number two, you need to have practice of it. Friends, mind has one department that called psyche. You know the definition of or the programming of psyche? Programming of psyche is action. Where there is no action, psyche doesn't work. Your psyche doesn't work. Your concentration doesn't fall. When you don't practice, when you do something, when you get into action, right, there you will have the attention and concentration. So the second step I have told you is practicing. Third, then the final step that I am telling you is solving papers. If you don't solve papers, right, you will learn nothing out of it. You see, you must solve papers. For step 2 and step 3, when you practice and when you solve your papers, you will definitely face problems. When you face the problems, you should go through the illustration, you should go through the sir's notes, and if it doesn't solve your problem, you should consult sir. You can consult me to solve your problems. Once you solve the problem, doing, right, practicing, right, it will become your permanent memory. Now, dear friends, the question arises, memory, right, memory. Then once again, I do tell you that psyche that is called the logical part of our brain. Brain is a biological organ. Brain is a biological organ, and psyche, right? Psyche has its logical department. It's a software. You see, psyche understands the language of action, right? If you think, it's okay. If you feel, it's okay. But unless you do, right, it doesn't work. So psyche understands the language of action. Now, I am giving you 5 steps. I am giving you 5 steps now, right, to do your accountancy very well and to develop and sharpen your memory. When you listen something, your audible memory is always of the shortest span. Yeah, its period is very short. When you listen something, when you watch something, then it has better memory than what you have listened. When you listen and watch simultaneously, that means your concentration must be harder. because your two sensors are working together. Your two sensors are working together. So you will remember better. Dear friend. Now the fourth step that I am giving you is of the imagination. When you imagine something, right, your mind creates its picture. Your mind creates a pattern, right? That is called the psyche. Psyche makes the snaps. Psyche creates the picture as a painter draws on canvas. Sir, you say, sir, imagination. Sir, how does imagination work? I'm telling you. Suppose you are doing accountancy and you are doing final accounts of partnership firm. Now, when you are doing partnership firm's final accounts, suppose you are making capital accounts of the partners. You are making capital accounts of the partners. Suppose you are making fluctuating capital accounts of the partners. Then what can be on the credit side? Right? Let us go for the imagination. Snap 1. I am making the fluctuating capital accounts of the partners. Snap 2. Credit side. Balance brought forward. Snap 3. Interest on capital. Snap 4. Salary to partner. Bonus to partner. Commission to partner. Right. Step 5. That I have been imagining. Yeah. That is called divisible profit. Okay, my credit side completes. There can be maximum 5 entries on the credit side. This picture is created by my mind. Okay, now I am going on debit side. Debit side, yeah, there will be drawing. Okay, I confirm. My psyche confirms. There is interest on drawings. Yes, my psyche confirm. If there is no other adjustment, that this is the end of your fluctuating capital accounts. Now, what is the procedure? You should make the total of credit side minus the total of debit side, and whatever you get will be the carry forward, right? Balance carry forward. This is the way of imagination. When you do it with imagination, right, your hand starts working. And you see, your imagination is done by your psyche. And when the psyche gets practice, that means it 101% comes into reality, right? And that you know all very well, that perfect practice makes man very perfect, dear friends, right? So these 5 ways that I have showed you, then the imagination is the best way. I have showed you 4 ways. The 5th one is that crooning, C-R-O-O-N. You need to croon the method. Sir, how do I croon? Sir, what does crooning mean? I tell you. Crooning means lilting something in your mind. Suppose I am crooning. Okay, capital account, credit side, opening balance, salary, commission, bonus, divisible profit. This I have done is crooning. I have talked with myself. There is my consensus. There is my consciousness. Right? Now this develops permanent memory, friends. So the 5th step is crooning. When you croon something, when you lilt something in your mind, right? As you remember the songs, your lilting, your crooning will definitely help you build your memory. Right? And I strictly want not to do one thing, that is called roting method. Please never rote. Dear friends. I beg, please never rote. Because roting has the shortest memory span, dear friends. Yes, the students who wrote never gets anything. They make out nothing of it, dear kids. Right? So accountancy is a subject of practice. Right? Imagination is the best way. Crooning is the best way. And solving problems is the best way.